Welcome back to another video, man. And today we have hip-hop longest beef 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. This is by Hood War Chronicles YouTube. Shout out to them boys. This is my first time ever reacting to a video by them, so you know. Yeah, hey, Bone members, y'all know what time it is. It's Thugs and Harmony Thursday. Did y'all really think I was just gonna leave y'all with one video? I thought about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's 11:29. I thought about it. I was tired, but I was like, I gotta show love to the Bone members. Y'all always show love to me, so let me do the same in return. But yeah, we about to get to the origin story of why Bone Thugs and Harmony was beefing with 3-6 Mafia. Hopefully this opens up some windows, open up some doors for you boys to want me to react to the Verzuz battle. Since we don't got no album reactions coming up next month, I could do all the content, all the long formatted videos that y'all guys will want, because all I got is times on my hand right now. But you know, yeah, let's jump straight into it, man. Let's see what they talking about on here.
Before we even get started, you ugly motherfuckers ain't finna be mocking me while I'm on motherfucking stage. Like straight the up.
You want easy when you got your mind together.
Not thinking about your skills.
Yeah, I mean, you go with it. You gonna do with your skills, man. Nobody you fucking
Suck my what the you're a hater. You're a hater. You must just take your pills.
Rap beefs come and go.
Hold up. Y'all ain't tell me they was throwing stuff and then full on fighting. Bone members, y'all ain't tell me 3-6 rushed them like that, though. Y'all told me there was a fight, but y'all ain't tell me that it looked like 3-6 was on go. 3-6 looked like they was demons. Nah, 3-6 looked like they was ready to knock some heads off. I mean, they blurred it out for restriction-wise, but they said, suck my meat, though. You don't tell no grown man that. I ain't gonna lie to you. In New York, people get killed for that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. In New York, people will get dropped for that. Dropped. You don't tell no grown man to do that.
Rap beefs come.
Yo, who is that in the white? Whoever that was in the white on 3-6 side, that brother was on go. It's like, once I think Juicy J was in the red. Juicy J came in, he was kind of being hesitant. He was being scared. He was like, should I swing? Then the boy in the white just came in pump rushing. Like, he went deep in the crowd. Like, no.
Rap beefs come and go, but this one, it lasted decades. 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. A war over style, respect, and straight-up street credibility.
As we walking inside the building, we hear some in unison scream out, "Thuggish, rugged busters." So we turn around and we see them in the parking lot.
Before the fame and Grammys, these crews were really about that life. The tension, real. The diss tracks, brutal. And the shots fired, way deeper than just lyrics.
These dudes done stole our style. And that's why we got mad, you know, about it and this and that.
Who came out first? Thugs, Bone Thugs and Harmony, or 3-6? Because I heard Bone Thugs and Harmony first. For the love of money, gotta get that money, man, money. And then 3-6, I promise you, I'm scared to listen to 3-6 Mafia. I heard them on live, I dang near wanted to pray. I had to play church music after I heard one of their songs. They too dark for me. Listen, if I listen to 3-6, I gotta react to them in the daytime, not at night. And that same night, I seen a big fat black cat. I caught that on live. Nothing but bad vibes after I heard that song. I'm gonna keep it real.
Ran into each other a couple of times and then like maybe like a push or something.
So who started it? Who kept it going? And how did it finally explode? Let's get into hip-hop's longest-running war. There has been quite a lot of beef in hip-hop history, from the Nas versus Jay-Z beef to the Tupac versus...
Actually, I have reacted to these boys' YouTube channel before, you feel me? It's just been some years.
Biggie feud, but none of these beefs
Jay-Z
comes
video.
close to the longest running beef in rap history. 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. This beef's been simmering since the 1990s, popped off in real life, and even had fists flying on a Verzuz stage in 2021. We're talking about two of the most influential groups in the game, Memphis's dark, gritty 3-6 Mafia and Cleveland's melodic Bone Thugs, going head-to-head over style, pride, and straight-up misunderstandings.
But we've been like going at each other for like 20-something years. You didn't expect that?
I didn't expect the actual physical altercation.
This feud has been simmering for decades with diss tracks, lawsuits, and even shots fired, literally. So why did these two icons...
I didn't know what to expect when I seen Gangsta Boo. I didn't know whether I thought she was going to be a baddie with a fatty, or I don't know if I thought she was going to be, you know, a real street girl. I don't know, I'm kind of surprised because how she rapped like she one of them ones, like she one of the guys. She don't rap she don't rap like she a Nicki or a Lil Kim. Like, she don't rap about her body for real. She rap about that real gutter stuff, like, She make you want to make this face when she rap. Like, you feel me?
Groups go at it for so long. And why is this beef still alive today? So grab your popcorn and let's dive into the story of one of hip-hop's most enduring rivalries. To understand how it all got to this point, let's take a step back and look at who these crews were. 3-6 Mafia emerged from Memphis, Tennessee, a city that was grinding away in the early 90s without any recognition. DJ Paul and Juicy J started things off as 666 Mafia in '91, just two cousins playing around with turntables and drum machines in a small apartment. They teamed up with Lord Infamous, who was Paul's half-brother, along with a rotating lineup that included Koopsta Kanika, Gangsta Boo, and Crunchy Black, cranking out gritty lo-fi tapes. Their vibe, dark, hypnotic, packed with sinister lyrics and slow, heavy beats. When Mystic Styles dropped in '95, it was unique. Horrorcore, devilish rhymes over slow, booming beats mixed with southern flair. They were hustling.
Would you say 3-6 Mafia is like a mixture of Wu-Tang and Bone? Like, I feel like they have the Wu-Tang, like, personality, but I feel like they have that real... Bone wasn't really dark though. Bone was more so like they was streets, but they was positive. They was like positive gangsters. Wu-Tang was more so like they talked about that gutter stuff, but it was like they was like real. They was religious too, but their own religion. They was more so like you God, son. Like you God. Like you is God. You feel me? Like, no, they 3%ers, I think. 5%ers, my apologies if I'm getting that religion wrong, but they was both speaking about God, but also in the streets and talking about struggle.
Selling cassettes from their car trunks and building a loyal fan base in the South long before the rest of the world took notice.
This is the song I heard.
Bone Thugs and Harmony had a unique journey, originating from Cleveland, Ohio, another city that often gets overlooked. Lazy, Crazy, Busy, Wish, and Flesh and Bone initially formed as Bone Enterprise $E back in the late 80s. They were struggling, rapping on street corners just to get by. Their big break came in '93, when they managed to scrape together enough bus fare to head to LA. There, they tracked down Eazy-E and auditioned right then and there. Eazy signed them to Ruthless Records, and by '94, their album Creepin' on Ah Come Up dropped. It mixed rapid-fire triplet flows with smooth harmonies.
I got some guys called Thugs and Harmony.
Do you find that Eazy's a real good businessman?
Oh, yeah.
He's the best businessman we ever dealt with.
We don't kick it with no fake.
While Thuggish Ruggish Bone caught attention, it was Thaw Crossroads in '96 that really launched them into stardom. Bone's story is one of struggle and perseverance. They faced loss, dealt with jail time, and channeled all that into their music.
People found out like who we were, and we done a couple shows. We started getting fan mail up at Ruthless Records like crazy.
Disses, sneak shots, and smack talk. Here's where it gets interesting. Both crews are spitting their verses quickly, diving into some heavy themes, murder, street life, the occult, but then 3-6 Mafia tunes into Bone on the radio and thinks they sound like them. Meanwhile, Bone is skyrocketing in popularity. By 1996, Thaw Crossroads was a massive hit, and they're leaving 3-6 in the dust. Memphis is not pleased. 3-6 feels like Bone totally lifted their vibe and took off with it.
You know, Red Rum, Murder, 666, Tongue Twisting. We was like, damn, these dudes done stole our style. And that's why we got mad, you know, about it and this and that.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't hear how they're similar in style. Like, as far as rapping wise, I don't see the similarities. Maybe that's just me, but me personally, I don't see it.
We ran into each other a couple of times. And
People thought it was the usual hip-hop rivalry and that it would simmer down eventually, but they were wrong. By 1995, the rivalry between 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs and Harmony had escalated from mere rumors to an all-out war. Although both groups had developed their unique sounds separately, their similar styles sparked the conflict. That year, 3-6 Mafia from Memphis released Live by Yo Rep, which was anything but subtle. The track was a sharp attack aimed directly at Bone, featuring lines like Cleveland boys trying to steal our style, and digs about copying their flow. DJ Paul and Juicy J didn't hold back. They believed Bone had taken their triplet cadence, horror-infused rap, and polished it for a wider audience. Lord Infamous added to the intensity with his dark delivery, throwing down bars that challenged Bone to respond. Memphis was alive with energy, and 3-6's fans rallied, shouting Bone's fake like it was their battle anthem. Meanwhile, Bone was in Cleveland making it clear. They've been on this wave since the late 80s, and they've got the tapes to prove it. The tension was real, straight from the streets, not just some industry chatter. Bone in Cleveland wasn't just sitting back and relaxing. They had been putting in work since their Faces of Death days back in '93, and by '95, Creepin' on Ah Come Up was making waves on the charts. No Surrender wasn't a straight-up diss, but it had a vibe. Bold and unapologetic. Like they said, we're not afraid of anyone. In a 2013 interview with Hiphop DX, Crazy Bone recalled how they first heard about the beef through fan mail. A girl from Memphis sent a letter warning them that 3-6 Mafia was accusing them of stealing their style. Crazy found it amusing and brushed it off at the time.
But there's this group from my hometown, and they've been making songs on the radio dissing y'all, telling everybody that y'all stole their style. And I was like, oh yeah?
But the jabs kept coming. Bone maintained that their rapid flows and dark stories were rooted in their own experiences hustling on St. Clair Avenue, not imitating anyone. Still, 3-6 wasn't convinced. They noticed Bone's rise, thuggish ruggish Bone getting airplay, the crossroads on the horizon in 96, and it hurt. Bone was outselling them and getting spins on MTV, while 3-6 was still hustling tapes from their car trunks. The real-life tension was brewing. Both crews ended up crossing paths because of their mutual label, Relativity Records. Crazy recalled a show in Memphis where things got a bit heated. Someone shouted thuggish ruggish boostas in the middle of their performance. Bone was ready to throw down, but security quickly got them backstage.
We hear some in unison scream out, thuggish ruggish busters. So we turn around and we see the in the parking lot. We ready to jump over the little rail.
Lazy Bone told Vibe back in 97 that it wasn't just talk. They felt the hate every time we hit the South. 3-6 wasn't backing down either. DJ Paul hinted in past interviews that they'd give Bone the death stare at industry events, no words necessary. It wasn't a full-blown war yet, but the vibe was intense. Subliminal shots in their songs, dirty looks at concerts, and a widening rift. DJ Paul told Blurred Culture back in 2015 that it was just a misunderstanding. They weren't familiar with Bone's Faces of Death tape from 1993, and Bone didn't really know 3-6's early tracks either. But the streets were aware. Other artists joined the conversation as well. Memphis underground legends like Tommy Wright III and Playa Fly looked at Bone with skepticism, saying they had diluted the Southern sound. Even Twista, the fast rap king from Chicago, had issues with Bone over flowjacking, so 3-6 Mafia wasn't the only one feeling suspicious. This beef wasn't as flashy as the Biggie and Tupac rivalry. It was gritty, personal, and deeply tied to pride and local identity. Once the fans caught wind of it, things just got even messier. The streets weren't about to let this beef cool off. Fans took the lead and ran with it. By 95 and 96, the diehard supporters of 3-6 Mafia in Memphis were wild, bombarding local radio stations like Hot 107 with requests for Live by Yo Rep and trashing Bone as pretty boy wannabes. Word on the streets was they showed up at shows waving 666 flags and heckling anyone who represented Cleveland. There's a story from a 96 night at a Memphis club where 3-6 fans supposedly threw bottles at a DJ for daring to play Thuggish Ruggish Bone. It was that intense. Down south, the story was clear. Bone had stolen their style and shot to fame, leaving 3-6 in the dust. Bone's crew from the Midwest didn't back down either. Cleveland fans filled their early shows, chanting "No Surrender" like it was their battle cry against the critics. They would stuff mailbags. This was before the internet, remember? With letters defending Bone's unique style, arguing that 3-6 was just jealous they couldn't harmonize. Crazy shared a story on Vlad TV years later about a fan from Ohio who sent them a mixtape of Bone's tracks from before they hit it big, writing, "As clowns, we've been real." The fan base turned it into a regional showdown. South versus Midwest, gritty versus melodic. Allegedly, things got heated when fans started facing off in real life. At a concert in Atlanta back in 96, where both groups were set to perform, rival crews reportedly squared off in the parking lot. Memphis fans sporting 3-6 shirts and Cleveland kids blasting Bone cassettes. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries, but the atmosphere was definitely tense. Social media wasn't around, but news spread quickly. Through zines, street corners, and even barbershops, keeping the rivalry alive. DJs took sides too. Southern stations favored 3-6, while those in the Midwest supported Bone. It got so intense that Relativity executives had to intervene, pleading with both sides to cool it before it jeopardized their contracts. The fans weren't just passive observers, they fueled the fire, ensuring the rivalry lasted well beyond the music. However, by the late 90s, the tension between 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs and Harmony seemed to be cooling off, or at least that's how it appeared. Bone was enjoying major success with albums like E1999 Eternal and The Art of War, racking up platinum records, while 3-6 was busy building their own legacy with Chapter 2, World Domination. The streets weren't buzzing about their rivalry as much anymore. And then in 99, something unexpected happened. Crazy Bone teamed up with Project Pat, a member of the 3-6 crew on the track Up There from Getty Green. That collaboration felt like a peace offering. Crazy later shared that he wanted to put the past behind them, stating in an interview years later that it was time to squash the beef. Word was, a conference call with Relativity Records really helped to ease tensions. Since both groups had ties to the label, it made sense to take a step back. In a 2015 conversation with Blurred Culture, DJ Paul downplayed the situation, describing it as a mere misunderstanding from the beginning. Two crews unaware of each other's early tracks. Juicy J chimed in, laughing about how silly it all seemed. Before long, they were performing together and attending shows side by side as if nothing had ever happened. By the 2000s, the feud felt like a distant memory. 3-6 Mafia achieved major success with Stay Fly, and even won an Oscar for It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp in 2006, while Bone Thugs and Harmony released hits like I Tried featuring Akon. Everyone believed the drama was behind them, but they couldn't have been more wrong. It wasn't completely buried. Subtle clues remained, and not everyone shared the same understanding. The streets still murmured, and one crazy night many years later showed that the tension was still alive. On December 2nd, 2021, Verzuz set the stage for an epic showdown between 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs at the Hollywood Palladium in LA. Fat Joe was the host, and the energy was electric from the get-go. It was about celebrating two iconic groups, sharing their greatest hits, and honoring the culture. 3-6 Mafia kicked things off with Who Run It, and Bone Thugs fired back with No Surrender, sending the crowd into a frenzy. It was a perfect moment, until it took a turn. Round 4 came up, and Bone kicked off Buda Lovas. That's when Busy Bone, the group's wild card, decided to shake things up. He halted mid-verse, shot a fierce look at 3-6, and yelled. Apparently 3-6 had been goofing around, maybe slow dancing or throwing some shade, and Busy wasn't having any of it. Juicy J fired back, "Kiss my ass." Before you knew it, Busy threw a bottle. Juicy charged at him, and all hell broke loose. Fists were flying, security jumped in, and the stream went dark. The crowd was stunned. 1 second, chaos erupted, and the next, the stream cut out. By the time it came back, Busy was gone, storming off in the heat of the moment. But the show didn't stop. 3-6 Mafia kept the energy alive, bringing out Lil Wayne for bands of Make Her Dance, while Bone Thugs countered with Chamillionaire and a hyped-up performance of Ridin'. The party vibe held strong, but that altercation had cracked open old wounds. Then, just as suddenly as he left, Busy returned. After a quiet embrace with Juicy and a few words of apology, the battle rolled on. They closed the night united, performing Thaw Crossroads in tribute to Eazy-E, Lord Infamous, and Young Dolph. It was a powerful moment, but beneath the unity, the tension still simmered. Later, Busy jumped on Instagram, still feeling some way, labeling 3-6 as devil worshippers and sticking to his guns. DJ Paul, on the other hand, kept it cool.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That ain't wrong to say that they devil lovers. I mean, they music sound crazy. They music sound like they devil worshippers. But y'all say, for them to be talking crazy like that, them boys actually believe in God. I was surprised. I'm gonna keep it real with you, no. And y'all told me they pastors. What's the one? Pastor Troy? Wait, was he with 3-6 or was he, or was Pastor Troy the one who dissed Master P? I'm getting my people mixed up. But y'all told me them boys believe in God.
Saying, I love Busy, we're good. Was it all for show? Nah, that vibe was way too genuine. Years of pent-up tension just blew up right in front of everyone. The streets were aware, the fans were aware, and now YouTube had the proof.
Really serious. So I told myself, hey, well, I'm not the kind of drink blood because there's 150 some ways of worshiping Satan. Voodoo, you got Satans, occults, all kind of shit, witchcraft, sorcerers, all that.
What's the deal with this beef lasting for 30 years? It really comes down to a few key points. First off, pride played a big role. 3-6 Mafia felt like Bone took their unique triplet style and horrorcore vibe and made a fortune off it. Bone shot back, maintaining that they did not steal anything. Then there's the whole regional loyalty thing. Memphis versus Cleveland, South against Midwest. Those connections run deep, and the fans kept the drama alive. Plus, it never really wrapped up neatly. Sure, they teamed up for some tracks, but there were still those subtle digs, and Busy's unpredictable energy always seemed ready to spark things up again. The main issue, a huge mix-up. Both groups were trailblazers in the underground scene and didn't even notice each other's early contributions. 3-6's Mystic Styles came out in 1995, but Bone had already dropped Faces of Death in 1993. Neither crew was aware until fans started talking.
And we have been doing that since like 89. And then all of a sudden when Bone came out, I think it was like 93. Yeah. 93 with
They had
Bone.
Faces of Death, and then they came out with THUGS, Ruggers.
Yeah.
Throw in some big egos, overlapping labels, and street hype, and you've got a feud that just wouldn't quit. Who was involved? Crazy, Lazy, DJ Paul, Juicy, basically the key players from both sides. Even folks like Twista, who had a beef with Bone over their rapid-fire flows, and Fat Joe, who saw it all unfold at Verzuz, got wind of it. This wasn't a hidden story, it's hip-hop history, shared like a classic tale.
We hear somebody, kind of on our same style, like you said, Faces of Death. I was talking about, Red Rum, Murder, 666, Tongue Twist, and we was like, damn, these dudes done stole our style. And that's why we got mad.
Beef aside, 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs and Harmony changed the rap.
Okay, then you gotta think about the Ouija board, like the ritual type stuff. That was 3-6 style. I mean, I don't know who would want to copy that style, but that definitely was their style. When you listen to 3-6, I don't want to say it make you want to go back and listen to it, but it's like, I can't believe he just said that. Run that back real quick. They saying some crazy stuff, and I need to go back and go hear it to make sure I heard what I heard. But no, you feel me? That's one of them ones. Okay, I get that. I get that aspect of it.
Aim for good. Bone introduced that crack flow. Those catchy hooks and fast verses set the stage for the sound we hear today. Even after losing Eazy-E in 95 and dealing with some jail time, they turned their struggles into timeless hits like Thaw Crossroads and First of Day Month.
Nobody never did as much work as we done. I had a fan the other day. I lost track on how many CDs we brought out. I had a fan one day said that we got 98 projects out.
That Cleveland grind created a vibe you can hear in Drake's sing rap style, Post Malone's chill beats, and even Juice WRLD's emotional flair. Crazy once shared with XXL, we wanted to sing and rap. Nobody was doing that. Their achievements speak volumes. Multiple platinum records, Grammy nominations, and a loyal fan base that still fills venues years later. They showed that you can be both street and soulful, raw and refined, all at the same time. 3 6 Mafia left a huge mark on the music scene. Hailing from Memphis, they took inspiration from horror movies and Southern culture to create a sound that broke all the rules. Their album, Mystic Styles, was a bold statement against mainstream music, but tracks like Tear Duck Club, Up and Stay Fly laid down the foundation for trap music. Those signature 808 beats, rapid hi-hats, and haunting chants, that's the essence of 3 6, showing up in artists like $1 AP Rocky, 21 Savage, and even in Metro Boomin's entire discography. Their Oscar win in 2006 for It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp was a game changer, proving they had evolved from local mixtapes to worldwide stars. Juicy J mentioned in a 2018 Rolling Stone interview, "We made music for the misfits, and it stuck." Even after losing Lord Infamous in 2013 and Gangsta Boo in 2023, their legacy lives on, with Dollar, Uicide Boy Dollar, and Raider Clan carrying on the flame. This beef didn't ruin their legacies, it made them stronger. Both teams used their rivalry as motivation, showing they could rise above the drama and keep dominating. Legends don't just stick around, they change the game. So what's the deal with beef? By the end of 2024, 3 6 and Bone weren't exactly at each other's throats, but they weren't exactly hanging out for barbecues either. No joint tours were happening, and there weren't any fresh collaborations making waves. There was a kind of peace, but it felt a bit shaky. Busy was still being busy, as unpredictable as always, posting mysterious stuff on IG that kept fans on their toes. DJ Paul and Juicy were keeping it chill, focusing on their solo projects and the legacy of 3 6. Bone was still on the road too, with Crazy and Lazy holding things down. The memory of that Verzuz showdown was still hanging around, but no one seemed keen to stir things up again. At least not for now. What was the deal with this beef anyway? It went beyond just diss tracks or brawls on stage. It was two underdog crews battling for respect in a scene that overlooked them. 3 6 represented the gritty vibe of Memphis, while Bone brought the spirit of Cleveland. Who came out on top? It really depends on how you look at it. Bone had more hits. Those 90s jams still get played everywhere, but 3 6 played the long game, influencing modern rap with their sound. Personally, I'd say it's a tie. Both left their mark and made a lasting impact on the culture. What do you all think? Did Bone's catchy hooks beat out?
So it's basically, we're gonna end the video right there anyway. But basically it seemed like the guy is saying Bone Thugs and Harmony made an immediate impact, and that's what made them ahead. But also he's saying 3 6 played the long game and changed rap. You feel me? You can hear that influence throughout a lot of artists in this generation. So technically they both won, but Bone Thugs and Harmony won at that time back in the 90s. You feel me? Bone was blowing them boys out. It's basically what I'm getting. But when we talk about rap and when you acknowledge the South, you gotta give 3 6 Mafia, they on the Mount Rushmore of that South music and inspiration. So I mean, hey, I'm gonna keep it real with you. So, a win is a win. They both won, you feel me? But listen, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video. Follow me on Instagram, link will be in the description box down below. Man, let's get 20 likes on this, and I continue to keep doing more Thugs and Harmony Thursday. I'll see y'all in the next one. Hope y'all enjoy.